Alrighty, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle here, and I probably picked the hottest day to do this on, but that's okay because it's been a really long time since I did a gaming update, so we're going to roll with it. And before I get into the games, and also the games that I have here isn't everything I played because it's been such a long time, but these are all the games that I really wanted to talk about. And before I get into that, there's one thing here that my girlfriend and I moved in together, and there's one thing that she still had that I think is just absolutely amazing, so I had to talk about it here. And that is an original NES still in the box. That is amazing. This box could be older than me. This could be like 3 decades old. And I think that that's just such a cool thing to look back at something like this, that it lasted. And to look back like a piece of history, a gaming history. This is the, the system that basically started the video game boom. And it's just freaking awesome. Like the back to like the promotion stuff. Like that's just... I love this. That was one of my favorite things back in the day. I got my first NES, but I didn't have it in the box for my cousin. But I remember when I got my first system, which was a PlayStation 1, and a Nintendo 64 was not long after. And I just remember looking at the box and looking at the background art and just looking at what the games were and being like, oh my god, I can't wait to pick up, Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda I don't think was in the back of it, but I can't remember what other games that like... Wave Race, Pilot Wings, just really cool things like that, and getting so excited. Just looking at the back of a box, even for before that with toys, you'd have figurines and you'd see like other figurines that were in that series, and it was just exciting to look at, and I miss those days. So that's awesome. Another thing that I did pick up before we get into the games, one last thing, is we went to a Goodwill, because every once in a while there's something good there. There wasn't any good games, but we did pick up the Final Fantasy VIII strategy guide, which is a double because apparently she already had it. But that's okay because we only paid 50 cents. 50 cents for a Final Fantasy strategy guide. A little bit beat up, but it's still like everything is in here, and that's just so freaking cool. And this was the first RPG that I ever played in my life. This is what started my love for RPGs. Speaking of RPGs, I did pick up Bravely Default, what, 3-4 months ago now? The Collector's Edition. I did an unboxing for this, so if you want to check that out, I'll put a link in the description box below. And I did a review of the game as well, so if you want to check that out, once again, I'll put a link in the description box below. It's about 6 minutes long. I just kind of like go through the main points of the game. So this game is... there's a lot of good in it. There's a few bad things, but... for the most part, I loved the class system in this game, and I liked the battle system, because what this game does, you need to grind a lot, but they make grinding so easy. You can fast forward the battles, and you can basically input every command that you would want to do, and then just start grinding as much as you want. And then you can also raise the encounter level, so that you just walk a few steps, boom, you're in a battle, and you press one button, right from the beginning, and then you can get into like 20 next battles. If you just keep moving a little bit, inch by inch, it'll just automatically do every attack that you told it to do. And as long as you're strong enough, you can just keep grinding like that. And it's so nice to have that as an option, that it's going to be really hard to go back to other games that don't have that, because it was so easy and just kind of fun to grind that way. Maybe not fun, but just that much easier. The class system, I don't know how many classes there are, but I think there's like 16 or maybe 32. I don't know. There's a lot. There's more than 16, I think. I just can't remember exactly the exact number. They all have specific things that, like a sword master. There's a white mage, a black mage. Or I think there's a red mage. There's a pirate. There's classes that you can have your main class, and then you can have a secondary class per character. So that means you can have there's 4 characters with basically 8 different classes that they have access to. And when one character chooses a secondary class, you can use those to kind of, work well together. So you have like the Swordmaster and the Pirate, and one of them offers a free lunch, which basically means that you don't use any of your magic or your MP, whatever, one or the other, and you can do one attack that the Swordmaster does that deals so much damage, but it uses up so much of that power. But because it's a free lunch, it doesn't cost you anything, so you can just do it a bunch of times. Another thing too is that you can stack up turns. That's the thing with this game, is that it's brave. You can just do a bunch of turns at once, or default, which is your defend, that allows you to stack up turns. So there's just a lot of cool things in this game. The only part that's kind of sucky in my opinion is that after about halfway through the game, there's something that happens, and it's interesting what happens, but it slows the pace of the game down so much, and you're like, I don't really want to continue because there's nothing new at that point. They give you something, but they didn't give enough parts to make it interesting because it felt redundant. You were just doing things over and over again. You know why you're doing them, but it's not giving you anything different. Like, you're just having to go, it's basically a whole grind at that point to get to the end of the game. And the end of the game is nice because it's different finally again. Like, the first half of this game, everything's new. Then it's like everything you have to go redo the entire game basically over and over again. And it's cool in a way to think of why you had to do that, but I wish that if you're gonna make us redo the game, have cutscenes, have parts in the game that are a bit different, that change it up a little bit to make it a little bit more fresh. That's my only complaint. But I put like 50 plus hours into this game to beat it, and I really enjoyed my time with it. So you have a 3DS and you like old school RPGs, definitely pick that game up, or try out the demo if it's still available. Another game that I got, this was for Valentine's Day earlier this year, basically around the time that Bravely Default was launched, and I still haven't played it, but it's Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. My girlfriend picked this up for me. I know, I'm really bad, I didn't play it, but there's so many other games and we moved together, so it's okay. I will be getting around to playing this very soon though, because I do want to try it out, and if I like it on the 3DS, I'll probably pick it up on the Wii. Next up is Fire Emblem Awakening. Remember earlier in the year, I had said that I was going to beat a bunch of games from my backlog, and you had to pick 3 games. Well, one of them that you all chose was Fire Emblem Awakening. I did beat it, and I love this game. I think that Fire Emblem Awakening, so far, from the games that I've played, is my favorite 3DS game. It's amazing. I loved the storyline, and I love that it's a tactics game. Like, I like, strategy RPGs, and you have to kind of move around your characters like a chess piece. It's really fun, and it makes me want to go and play a bunch of other strategy games, Fire Emblem games as well. I didn't play it on the mode where you can die because I was really intimidated by that, so I went through the game on basically like a normal setting, and where if they die, they basically come back. Which is kind of, that's not the point of Fire Emblem, but for my first Fire Emblem game, that's what I wanted to do. But because I love this game so much, I'm thinking of playing it again very soon, and trying out the more hardcore mode where if a character dies, they're gone forever. So I will be looking at that because there's a lot more to the story as well. There's 2 different endings that I know of because of something that can happen. And there might be other things as well where the game might change. It's been a while since I played it because I beat it like quite a few months ago, before I played Bravely Default. So yeah, I don't remember everything about this game, but I do remember just enjoying the hell out of this game. I'd probably give it like a 9 out of 10. I just loved this game to bits. One of my favorite games from 2013, definitely. Probably my second favorite, maybe. Yeah, I'd go as high as that. And my favorite game on the 3DS so far. And that's impressive. Next up is 2 games that I picked up on the same day. And that is Mario Golf World Tour and Kirby Triple Deluxe. Kirby Triple Deluxe I still haven't played yet, but it's because I've been playing other games. But I do really want to get to it, and specifically because I actually did play the Kirby's 20th anniversary. I finally checked it out, and I played the first game, Kirby's Dream Land, on the Game Boy. And that's the only game that I played on this so far, but I beat it. It's not very long at all, like an hour and a half maybe. But the music, holy crap, the music in this game. It's from the Game Boy, but it's so, maybe because it's the Game Boy and they're kind of limited with the sounds that they can use, but I just freaking loved the music in this game. And I've heard that the Kirby games have really good music. I played Mass Attack, I think, Kirby's Mass Attack, I think, on the DS, and I beat that game. That was my only Kirby game that I played before. And the music was okay, but holy crap, I just loved the hell out of that music. So I really do want to check this game out very soon. Maybe tonight. Although I kind of have an itch to play The Legend of Dragoon, so we'll see how that goes. But I did play Mario Golf World Tour. Played a lot of this. I beat the game. The game's... Here's the thing. There's like 3 tournaments, I think, and they're really short, but it was so hard at the beginning. Hold on, my cat's... Come here, Callie. I know you want attention. This is my cat, and she was making noise. Look how guilty you are. He's like, leave me alone. Anyway, yeah. So the tournaments, it's only 3 tournaments, but the first one is easy. You'll beat it with one try. That's how long it took for me to beat it. But the second one is like, this is a little bit harder, and I had to redo it like once or twice. And the third one took me so many retries. Maybe I'm just really bad at this game, but it's so hard. Because you have to take into account like the wind and depending on where you are and all the angles. And it's not bad, but sometimes they just, it goes completely off what you want to do, and you're like, God damn it! Now I've got to waste another swing just trying to get it back to where I need it to be. But very fun. Probably the most fun I've had with one of these sports games. I just really enjoy this. And there's online as well, which is freaking awesome. And it goes by faster too when you play online. You actually, like, everybody kind of shoots at the same time. Another game that I've had a ton of fun on online, and this is quite possibly the game that I had the most fun with this year, 2014, for 2014 release games, and that is Mario Kart 8. I don't know why they decided to go with a red case, and if they were going to go with a red case, don't make the outline blue. If you're going to do that, do what you did with New Super Luigi U. Green case, okay, so very different from the regular blue, the light blue that Nintendo has, but they made, you know, this part of it green as well, so it matches. This just, look at that. That's just so wrong. Anyway. I just wanted to point that out. Other than that, this game is fantastic. And it's a lot of a nicer cover than basically any other Mario Kart game. Because there's like stuff going on. Like it's not just, you know, Mario or Mario and Luigi and nothing in the background. Like there's actual... That's a really nice cover art. But this game is fantastic. I've played 50cc and 100cc, beat them all with the 3 stars and everything. So arriving first place for every one of those. I've beaten it with a bunch of different characters because I'm trying to get all the stickers. Still not done yet because there's so many characters. I've unlocked every character. I have not started 150cc yet at all, like not even one level. And I've played a lot online with my girlfriend as well. She really enjoys this game too. So we have fun just going online and playing this. Sometimes we don't even go online, because the only negative about this game is when you do go online, once in a while you get like an error. Well, not once in a while. It happens maybe more often than once in a while. It's like, boom, an error, and it kicks you out of the game. Especially if you're trying to play with people that you know online. Like I was playing with Jason, Big Red Engineer here on YouTube. He's part of the live stream team with me and Kevin, and we were playing, and it was so hard. Every second game we would get an error, and it was like, it was very frustrating. But other than that, fantastic game. I would probably say my favorite Mario Kart game so far. It's that good. I can't get enough of it. And you can go upside down. It doesn't really feel like you are going upside down, but they kind of changed, like, you know you're going upside down because they kind of change it at the beginning when you're doing the turn that you're allowing you to go upside down, but then they kind of straighten it out so it's the same thing. I think it would have been cool if we would have actually had the camera go upside down the entire time that you are upside down. That would have made a lot of people probably like sick, and people would just be like, they get disoriented and stuff. But I think it would have been really cool to at least have maybe an option of on and off for that. That would have been a cool thing. But love this game. Next up, another 2014 release. This is a remake or a remaster, and that is Final Fantasy X and X-2, and this is the limited edition, which is amazing. I think I did an unboxing for this. If I did, I'll link it in the description box below. Just beautiful limited edition here. It's kind of like the same with Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5. And I've never played Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X-2 is one of my girlfriend's favorite RPGs of all time because she really liked the class system. We haven't gotten that far yet because we're playing the first one. And this game is so freaking colorful. And it looks really good. They did such a good job. Like, it feels like you're playing, like this is Final Fantasy like 14. If you've never played Final Fantasy X and you're playing this for the first time on the PS3, it feels like it's a new Final Fantasy game for the PS3. Maybe not that high caliber, but it's up there. possibly because of the colors. It's just so bright and vibrant, and I'm like, oh, this is so different from you know, other Final Fantasy games that I've played. I don't know. I would say that I don't like the characters as much as I do like Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. Those are just some of my favorite games of all time. So and mostly because of the characters, or partially because of the characters. So I'm not really into the characters that much in this game, but I do really like the setting. I like the colors, the locations, all the different places that you can go in this game, and I'm really having a fun time with this with my girlfriend while we're playing it. The only negative that I've had so far in this game is when you have to play the sports game in the water. Oh my god, I had a hard time with that, and because there's so many rules and implies. Like the tutorial was just way too long, and I'm like, this is a Final Fantasy game. This is an RPG. I don't want to play some kind of sports game. That doesn't interest me. I'm assuming that there are people that are very good at it, and you can get good at it, but I'm not. And my girlfriend's like, I'm not playing this. Because when we play an RPG together, we take turns. Like, we always, when we play a game together that's single player, we take turns, and we have to be together to watch basically every event unfold, so you're kind of playing it the entire time. It's just that you're taking turns actually playing the characters. So she's like, yeah, I'm not playing that Blitzball, I think that's what it's called. You can play it by yourself and try to beat it. And I was like, I don't think I did very good at all. that was the only negative that I've had so far in that game. Next up is some older games that I've gone back to playing. Knack, we did play this again and beat it. And it's not bad. We got to the end of it. The story is very bad, actually. It doesn't really make sense because they're against like these orcs, and there's no reasons for them to be against the orcs. But anyway, because they took over their land. But that's not really the main antagonist of this game. It's like these other people that are just trying to get like these ruins, which make Knack, you know, pretty much giant. But it's just a nice platformer on the PS4. Not necessarily super difficult. Well, no. There are parts that are a little bit difficult, but you can kind of just breeze through this for the most part. If you're playing co-op. If you're playing single player, that's completely different. But co-op, you can kind of like work it out and have strategies. But I enjoyed my time with Knack, and I'm glad I did pick it up when I did. One game, this is probably the game that I played the most of this year, 2014. It's a very old game, and I kind of feel bad that I played it again, but that's okay. That's Call of Duty Black Ops, because my brother has this game, and he really wanted to play a game on the PS3 because that's what he has right now. And I was like, all right, well, I have Black Ops, you have Black Ops, let's play it. And so we ended up playing 70 hours about in the last few months, and it's just, the Call of Duty games, the multiplayer is kind of broken. I say that as in, like, sometimes the hit detection, you think that you're killing somebody and then you're not. And then you look at the replay and where they're shooting you and you're like, that's not really hitting any major parts. Sometimes it doesn't even look like they're hitting you, but they end up killing you. And so I'm like, I don't really like that. I don't like that everybody gets grouped together. It kind of slows down the game. Like, you're all trying to run and then you bump into each other and it kind of like lags, because you're hitting the other person but kind of trying to go through them at the same time. So I was like, it's not smooth. But there's something about the Call of Duty multiplayer games that makes me keep coming back. Nuketown, it's possibly the maps. The maps in Black Ops, I think, are some of the best Call of Duty multiplayer maps that I've played. I just really enjoy them. Just from like the no DLC or anything, even though I do have the first DLC packed with this. But anyway, like Nuketown, Summit, trying to think of the other ones, but they're escaping me right now. But I really do like the maps for this game, and that's probably why I continue to play. Also because I want to play video games with my brother. And my last two here, I didn't play too much of these, but I did start Infamous, because I mean, I've had this game for a while, and it's an old earlier PS3 game. It was okay for what I played. I like the platforming probably more. I don't really care for the storyline at all. Like, I really find it kind of bad. And the graphics aren't exactly the nicest, mainly because I think I've been like a little bit treated with the last few years of gaming, because this is an earlier PS3 game, so I don't really fault them for that. And it is an open world type of game. kind of. So, I mean, they have to have that much more to deal with than just like a smaller location on a map or something. But I like the platforming a little bit more in this game than anything else. But I do want to get to the end of the game and see how it is up there. I don't even think I'm halfway through the game yet. So I'm just like 2 hours in, so very early on in the game. So I'm hoping that it kind of branches out. Maybe the storyline gets a little bit better. Right now, I just do not care for it at all. Yeah. And last but not least, Rayman Origins. Finally started playing this game. Way too long to play this game. But one thing I will say is I picked it up for $10. And I'm glad I did, because I picked it up for $10 brand new a while back. And I remember so many people praising this game for its graphics and how amazing this game was. And it's one of the best 2D platformers, like side-scrolling platformers of last generation. And I'm like, it's not all that graphically amazing. Like, it's a cool art style. I'll give it that. But the levels are fun, but they're not amazing. I think that there's just too much hype going for this, and I was kind of let down. I was expecting like the greatest game of all time here, and it wasn't exactly that. It was still very fun. It's enjoyable, but I'm glad I didn't pay full price. Like $10, $20, I still would have been okay with this. But my girlfriend and I have only played like the first 2 worlds, so we're not very far into it. So it might, you know, once again, just kind of like Infamous, branch out a little bit more. I don't know why I put everything over there. I should just keep stacking it up here. But I didn't. So that's it. That's pretty much it that I played in the last little while. Oh, I've played... I beat Resogun on the PS4. I downloaded Flower as well. Like, re-downloaded Flower on the PS4 because I had it on the PS3 before. I played that again because they're really short. Flower wasn't as good as I remembered it being. Mainly because of the controls. The actual playing the game, if they had better controls, if I could use an analog stick, I would love Flower to bits. But anyway, and Resogun's just fun as hell. If you get a PS4, you have to get that game, no matter what. It's a downloadable game, but it's just a fun, like 180 or 360 side-scrolling shooter. That's just fun as hell. I love that game. Love that game. So that's pretty much it that I played that I can think of. Hopefully I don't wait too long until the next gaming update, but I am going to be picking up quite a lot in the next little while. So, and a game room tour. Finally, I will be showing off everything very soon, but I want to wait until it cools down a little bit anyway. So thank you all for watching. You've been bearded in. Beardage!